Good morning, student. I am Purnima, and today I am going to continue with my lesson, The Happy Prince. And students, I am going to continue the second part of the lesson. Now, first and before that, I welcome you all to my class, and let us do a quick revision of the lesson. So, I will be telling you about the main point of the story. And first of all, The Happy Prince was written by Oscar Wilde. Okay, he was an Irish playwright, uh, novelist, and essayist. Essayist means the person who writes an essay. So, what is the main point of the story, children, which I have discussed with you? That the prince in the story is not a living prince. He is a dead. His statue is there, and he is known by the name of the Happy Prince. The Happy Prince in the story is a statue of a dead prince decorated with gold leaves and precious stones. The prince is known as the Happy Prince because there is a smile on his lips. And children, the smile in his lips gradually give way to tears. The Happy Prince is sad over miseries of poor people and is unable to help him. He decides to help them with his gold leaves and precious stones, precious stoppers, sapphires, and ruby. Now, the Happy Prince in the story is a statue of a dead prince, as I told you. Okay, and children, he decide to. The Happy Prince is sad over miseries of poor people, and he is unable to help him because he is in the form of a statue. He decided to help them. He decided, children, then he saw the misery of the people, and he decided to help them with his gold leaves and precious stoppers like sapphires and ruby. They were very expensive, and children, he wanted to help them with these things. Then children, one day an little Salu has came, and she sat between the feet of the statue. Okay. The little Salu act as his messenger, and he gives away all his wealth, sapphire, ruby, and gold leaves. The Salu was actually on his way back to his homeland when the prince had detained him to help the poor. He always wished to go back, but now it was too late. Now, children, the Salu has given him. He has actually on his way back to his homeland, and when the prince had detained him to help the poor. He always wished to go back, but now it was too late. Now, children, the Salu wanted to go back to his friend in Egypt, but it was too late now. The intense cold killed the Salu. The little Salu lost his life in helping the poor. So, children, finally the Salu died because it was too cold, and it died in the feet of the Happy Prince only. And children, thus the little Salu lost his life in helping the poor people. The Salu's death broke the prince's heart. He was very sad when he saw the Salu died. He was very sad, and it broke the prince's heart also. The Salu and the prince were perished for a noble cause. Perished here means died. Their death was not the end; it made them immortal. So, children, their death was not the end; it made them immortal. One day the god asked one of the angels to bring the two most precious things in the city. The angel brought him the laden heart and the dead Salu. So, children, what did the angel bring? It brought the laden heart of the prince which did not melted in the furnace, and the dead Salu. And children, God appreciated this act of the messenger. He told, yes, you are right in choosing these two things as the most precious thing on earth. So, children, now I've already explained, and I will be explaining you the rest of the lesson on page number 30. Okay, I've already told you that how the prince had stopped Salu Okay, he wanted to go to Egypt where all his friends were waiting, but the prince has stopped the Salo not to go there. Instead, rather he should help. Now the Salo has helped a boy who was very ill, and her mother was seamstress. She was tired. She slept in the chair only. She was preparing a gown, a satin gown for queens made of honor. Then children, the prince helped one of the other peasants, people also, the Salo, with the help of Salo, the prince was able to help that person who was a writer and who was living in a garret. So children, such was the condition of the happy prince. Okay, both Salo and happy prince together, they were helping each other. Now children, I'm in page number 30 and let's see what happened next. Thank you, little Salo, said the prince. Now children, when he told that, the Salo told that he had to go to Egypt to help his friend, the prince was really sad and the little Salo was sorry. He told, it is very cold here, he said, but he agreed to stay with him for one night and be his messenger. But the prince requested him to stay with him one more night and be one of his messengers. Thank you, little Salo, the prince told. Thank you. Finally, the Salo agreed to stay with the prince and she wanted to help him. The Salo picked out the great ruby from the prince's sword and flew away with it in his beak over the roof of the town. Finally, children, the Salo did what the prince wanted. She picked out a great ruby from the prince's sword and flew away with it in his beak over the roof of the town. He passed by the cathedral tower where the white marble angels were sculptured. So children, the Salo has passed by the cathedral tower. What is the meaning of cathedral? It is children, it is a tower. And children, finally she went to the seamstress house and she gave that ruby. She kept the ruby on the table, and while returning back he found the little child who was ill also. So children, now I will be explaining you from page number 31. When the moon rose, he flew back to the happy place. Now children, the Salo went here and there, saw the city, and finally children, he thought, I will go to Egypt and first thing I will have a bath. And he was in high spirit at the prospect. He visited all the monuments and sat a long time on top of the church steeple. Now that the Salo children, it had to call the monument, and finally he sat and he took rest on the church steeple. When the moon rose, he flew back to the happy prince. Now children, when the moon was rising, he flew back to the happy prince. Have you any commission for Egypt? He cried. I am just starting. Now children, he told, have you any commission for Egypt? He said, I am just starting. He told, okay, now it's time for me to leave for Egypt, and if you have any work in Egypt, you please tell me. Salo, Salo, little Salo, said the prince, will you stay with me one night longer? He told, that will you stay with me one night longer? I waited for in Egypt, answered the Salo. Now the Salo told him that I am waited for in Egypt. Salo, Salo, little Salo, said the prince, far away across the city I see a young man in a garret. Far away across the city I see a young man in a garret. Now children, garret, what is the meaning of garret? Garret means children, a room which is upon the terrace. Okay, a small room at the top of the roof is known as garret. So he is telling, Salo, Salo, little Salo, far away across the city I see a young man in a garret. A young person is there in a garret. He is leaning over a desk covered with papers, and children, he is leaning over a table, which that table is covered with papers. And in the glass by his side there is a bunch of withered violet. And children, there is a glass, and in that glass violets are there. What is a violet? Violets are a type of flower, and withers means dry flower. It is a dry flower. His hair is brown and crisp. Even his hair is brown and crisp. And his lips are red as pomegranate. His lips are red as pomegranate. And he has a large and dreamy eyes. He is trying to finish a play for the director of the theatre. So he is trying to finish a play for the director of the theatre. But he is too cold to write anymore. Now children, but he is very too cold to write anymore. There is no fire in the garret. Now children, because of the extensive cold, he is not able to write. There is no fire in the garret also, and hunger has made him faint. He is fainted by hunger. I will wait with you one more night longer, said the swallow, who really had a good heart. Now children, when the swallow heard this, he told, okay, I will wait for one more night. Okay, and he really had the swallow had a very good heart. He asked if he should take another rupee to the young playwright. He told that if he could take another rupee to the young playwright. Alas, I have no ruby now, said the prince. My eyes are all that I have left. So he told that I have no ruby now. It is only my eyes are left now. They are made of rare sapphire. This is made of rare sapphire, which were brought out of India 8,000 years ago. And this sapphire, it was brought from India 8,000 years ago. He ordered the swallow to pluck out one of them and take it to the playwright. The prince told the swallow that to pluck one of them and take it to the playwright. He will sell it to the jeweler and buy firewood and finish his play. Now children, the prince told him that he will take it to the jeweler and buy firewood and finish his play. Dear prince, said the swallow, I cannot do that, and he began to weep. Now children, he knew the moment he will take out sapphire from the prince's eyes, what will happen? He will lose one of his eyes. So the swallow started crying. He told me, I cannot do that. I cannot make you blind. And you are such a generous and kind-hearted prince. And by saying this, the swallow started crying. He will sell it to the jeweler and buy firewood and finish his play, he said. Dear prince, said the swallow, I cannot do that, and he began to weep. So the swallow started crying. He told the prince that he cannot do that. Swallow, swallow, little swallow, said the prince, do as I command you. So the swallow told the prince to do as I command you. So the swallow plucked out the prince's eyes and flew away to the young man's garret. And children, finally what happened? The swallow plucked the prince's eyes and flew away to the young man's garret. It was easy enough to get in, as there was a hole in the roof. Through this he darted and came into the room. The young man had his head buried in his hand. Children, the young man had his head buried in his hand, so he did not hear the flutter of the bird's wing. And when he looked up, he found the beautiful sapphire lying on the withered violets. I am beginning to be appreciated, he cried. This is from some great admirer. Now I can finish my play. So children, he is telling, I am beginning to be appreciated, he cried. This is from some great admirer. Now I can finish my play. And he looked quite happy. Now children, the swallow came through his roof. What happened? And it darted, it came inside the room. The swallow came inside the room. It darted. It kept that sapphire on the table. The young man had his head buried in his hand. Now children, the young man, maybe he was feeling so cold, but his hand was buried in there only. He did not hear the flutter of the bird's wing, and when he looked up, he found the beautiful sapphire lying on the withered violets. So children, he could not hear the fluttering of the bird's wing or the not here when the fellow came and when it went. So he only, uh, when he looked up, he found his beautiful sapphire lying on the withered violets. I'm beginning to be appreciated, he cried. This is from some great admirer. Now I can finish my play, and he looked quite happy. This is from some great admirer. Now I can finish my play, and he looked quite happy. The next day, the swallow flew down to the harbour. He sat on the mast of a large vessel and watched the sailor working. He sat on the mast of a large vessel and watched the sailor working. I am going to Egypt, cried the swallow, but nobody minded, and when the moon rose, he flew back to the Philippines. Well, children, the next day also the swallow went to the harbour. He sat on the mast of a large vessel and watched the sailors working. I am going to Egypt, cried the swallow, but nobody minded, and when the moon rose, he flew back to the happy prince. I have come to bid you goodbye, he cried. Now, children, finally the swallow told the prince that I have come here to bid you goodbye. It is winter, answered the swallow, and the snow will soon be here. In Egypt, the sun is warm on the green palm trees, and the crocodile lie in the mud and look lazily about them. It is winter, answered the swallow, and the snow will soon be here. In Egypt, the sun is warm on the green palm trees, and the crocodile lies on the mud and look lazily about them. In the square below, said the happy prince, there stands a little match girl. So, children, a little match girl was standing. She has let her matches fall in the gutter. Now, children, what did the happy prince saw? That all her matches it fell on the gutter, and they are all spoiled. Now, children, all the matches are spoiled. Now, children, she is crying badly as her father will beat her. So, her father will beat her if she does not bring home some money, and that's why she is crying badly. She has no shoes or stocking. Now, children, is cold, but she is not having any shoes or stocking, and her head is bare. That means she is not having any scarf or any stone to cover her head. Pluck out my other eyes and give it to her, and her father will not beat her. Now, he is telling that he should pluck one of his eyes and he should give it to her, then only her father will not beat her. I will stay with you one night longer, said the swallow, but I cannot pluck out your eyes. You would be quite blind then. Now the swallow told the prince that I would definitely stay with one more night with you, okay, but I am not going to pluck your other eyes because you will become blind then. Swallow, swallow, little swallow, said the prince, do as I command you. Now the prince told that swallow, swallow, little swallow, do as I command you. You have to pluck my eyes. So poor swallow, though he did not want to pluck his eyes, he had to pluck it. And now the prince has become totally blind. So he plucked out of the prince's other eyes and darted down with it. And children, it went with it. Well, so children, finally what happened? The swallow, though she did not want to pluck the eyes of the prince, she had plucked the eyes of the prince because he was saying her to do so, and he had become completely blind. Now children, when the swallow he plucked out the prince's other eyes and darted, it went back to with it. He swooped past the match girl. He swooped means children to move quickly. Swoop. How you will pronounce this word? Swoop. and slipped the jewel into the palm of her hand. Okay, and slipped the jewel into the palm of her hand. And children, the jewel was slipped into the palm of her hand. What a lovely bit of glass. Now the girl, she was very happy. She thought it is a beautiful glass, and she ran home laughing. Then the Sallow came back to the prince and he told, "You are blind now." He said, "So I will stay with you always." So the Sallow came back to the prince. He told, "You are blind now." He said, "So I will stay with you always." Now children, see how nicely the Sallow treated the prince. He told that you are blind and I will stay with you always. "No, little Sallow," said the poor prince, "you must go away in Egypt." So the prince told that you will go to Egypt. "No, I will stay with you always," said the Sallow, and he slept at the prince's feet. So he told the Sallow that he will sleep at the prince's feet and I will not go to the Egypt. All the next day he sat on the prince's shoulder and told him stories of what he had seen in his strange land. And now children, that good nice little Sallow, he sat on the shoulder of the prince and he started telling him the story that what he had seen in the other strange land. "Dear little Sallow," said the prince, "you will tell me of marvelous things, but more marvelous than anything is the suffering of man and woman." Now children, what did the prince told to Sallow? He told Sallow that you are telling me about a lot of things, but more marvelous is the thing of suffering of men and women. There is no mystery so great as misery. So there is no mystery as great as misery. Fly over my city, little Sallow, and tell me what you see there. Fly over my city, little Sallow, and tell me what you see there. So the Sallow flew over the great city and saw the rich making merry in their beautiful house. So the Sallow flew over the great city and saw the rich making merry in their beautiful house. While the beggars were sitting at the gates, he flew into dark lane and saw the white faces of the starving children looking out listlessly. So children, now the prince is telling Sallow that you just find it out in the city that how the others are affected by the sadness and misery, and you just fly over my city, little Sallow, and tell me what you see there. So the Sallow flew over the great city and saw the rich making merry in their beautiful house, while the beggars were sitting at the gate. So children, first thing what did the Sallow saw? He saw all the rich people. They were really making merry. Merry means happy. They were very happy in their beautiful house, while the beggars were sitting at the gates. He flew into dark lanes and saw the white faces of the starving children. So children, he flew into dark lane and saw the white faces of the starving children looking out listlessly at the black street. And children, he was looking listlessly at the black street. Under the archway of a bridge, two little boys were lying in each other's arms to try and keep themselves warm. And children, two boys were there. Okay, they were very poor and they were putting arms on each other so that their body could get warm. "How hungry we are," they said. "You must not lie here," shouted the watchman. Now children, the watchman told, and he started scolding them. He told that you must not lie here. They told that we are feeling very hungry and cold, and poor boys, they have to wander out into the rain. Then he flew back and told the prince what he had seen. Now children, this misery the Sallow had seen, and he had flew back to the prince and he told him what he had seen. "You must take it off leaf by leaf and give it to the poor." Now he is telling you must take it off leaf by leaf and give it to the poor. The living always think that gold can make them happy. So now children, what did the Sallow told? The prince told the Sallow, he told, "You can take all my leaf of gold layer by layer and you can give to the needy person." Leaf after leaf of the fine gold the Sallow picked off till the happy prince looked quite dull and grey. And now children, just to help others, what did the happy prince is doing? He is pulling the layers. He told the cello to pull all the layers of leaf by leaf. Okay. And children, the happy prince looked quite dull and grey. Now, as all the gold leave from his body, it was plucked. And the children's faces grew roster, and they laughed and played in the street. Now, children, it was the children were they very happy. Okay, they were very happy, and the children faces grew rosier. Children, they were happy, so their faces also grew rosier. That means their cheeks had turned red, and they laughed and played in the street. We have bread now, they cried. And children, they were very happy. They told each other that now they are having bread. That means they are having food to eat. And they started, children, they were so happy that they started playing in the street. Then the snow came, and after the snow came the frost, children. Then there was a snowfall, okay, and after the snow came the frost. The snowfall was there, and after the snow, what happened? The frost. Again, the frost is a snow, small snow flakes which keeps on falling. And the frost was the whole area was covered by frost. The street looked as if they were made of silver, and it was looking as if the street was looking as if they were made of silver. Everybody went about in fur. Everybody went about in furs, and the little boys wore scarlet caps and skated on the ice. The little boys, they wore scarlet caps and skated on the ice. The poor little Salo grew colder and colder, but he would not leave the place. Children, the poor little Salo, it grew colder and colder. The poor little Salo grew colder and colder, but he would not leave the prince. He loved him too well. He picked up crumbs outside the baker's door when the baker was not looking. So children, the poor little and children here, the Salo, his condition was becoming worse. His health was deteriorating due to cold. But children, he knew that this would harm his health, he would die. But this thing he never told to the prince, as he knew that he did not want to leave the prince, as the prince has become blind. Children, this Salo, he loved the prince so well that children, at the cost of his life, he did not want to leave him. He picked up crumbs outside the baker's door when the baker was not looking, and tried to keep himself warm by flapping his beak. Now, children, he was helping other, but he did not have anything to eat. He used to go to bakers, to the bakery, and he used to eat some crumb of the breads there. And children, just to keep himself warm, he used to flap his wing continuously. But at last he knew that he was going to die. He had just enough strength to fly up to the prince's shoulder once more. Now children, finally children, the time has come that the Salo has realized that now he will not live more. He will surely die. Well children, he had a very less strength, less energy to fly up to the prince's shoulder once more. Goodbye, dear prince, he murmured. Will you let me kiss your hand? Now he told the prince that, will you let me kiss your hand once more? I'm glad that you are going to Egypt at last, little Salo. Now the prince was not able to see Salo, so he thought that the Salo is going to Egypt. Okay, and he told, you have stayed too long here, but you must kiss me on the lips, for I love you. And children, the prince was very grateful to Salo. He told him, before you go, I want that you should kiss me on the lips, because you are the one who had helped me a lot, and I love you a lot. It is not to Egypt that I am going, said the Salo. I am going to the house of death. Death is the brother of sin. Is he not? Now children, before dying, he told that I am going to die. I am not going to Egypt, but I am going to the house of death. Death is the brother of sleep. Is he not? And he kissed the happy prince on the lips and fell down dead at his feet. And children, finally he kissed the happy prince, and finally he died at his feet. feet. At that moment, a curious crack sounded inside the statue as if something had broken. Children, the moment the happy prince realized that the Salo died, his heart also broke. He was very sad. He was full of sorrow with the death of the Salo. And children, his something, a very loud, furious crack was heard inside the statue as if something had broken. And children, it was the heart of the happy prince which was broken. The fact is that the leaden heart had snapped right in two. And children, what was the fact? The leaden heart, okay, it actually broke into pieces. It certainly was a dreadfully hard frost. And children, it was a very dreadful hard frost. Okay. So children, both of them died. The happy prince also died. Okay. Its heart's crack means broken. It broke into two pieces and both of them died. So now children, with this, the time is over. The rest of the story and the question answer I will be discussing with you in my next video. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.